Hello and welcome back to Dawn Chorus Writes. Hi, I'm Dawn and this is Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction and audio fiction. And this is part 6, the final part of Sweet Kisses, before part 3 of Sweet Dreams comes out soon. So I hope you enjoy. Smash the like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on when part 3 comes out, and comment down below what you think and what will happen next. Okay, so I hope you enjoy. Sweet kisses. Part 6. Ladybug's POV. With Chat at their side, they zipped through Paris, vaulting from one roof to another until they landed on a strip near the primary avenue. With chaos erupting around them, it was hard to see where it was stemming from. Chat, can you see where the akumatized person is? She glanced over at her partner. Even after everything they had witnessed and experienced over the past week, they still had the same dynamic as before. No, my lady. There doesn't seem to be one person standing out. They all seem to be running around scared. Do you have a plan? Chat watched as someone in the streets below screamed out for help, and before he could even move, their eyes glowed white and disappeared in front of him. Whilst a few streets away, another person was running, flinging their arms in the air as a swarm of bees chased after them. They all seemed scared, more than usual, but what's affecting each person is different. Ladybug scanned their surroundings. People had taken to the streets, trying to escape. There were too many to help each person. Their best bet was to stop this as soon as possible. Another person shouted out in the distance against a horde of giant spiders chasing after them, but couldn't pinpoint the location. Chat was right. What was happening to them was all different, and yet the same. Kitty, what's the one thing they all have in common? That they're scared? He turned round, puzzled by her question. I think that's what we're up against. Them being scared? No, fear. Listen to their cries. They aren't just scared of what is happening to them. There is genuine fear. He turned round, watching her calculate the situation. So, someone is targeting their fears? That would make sense. Bees, but someone disappeared? Oh, becoming invisible. Yeah, and spiders? All some form of deep fear coming to life. So, what is your fear, my lady? Mine would be you not loving me, but that ain't a fear now. He shot her a look. Yeah, he was still the same Chat, making comments at the wrong times. Chat, be serious. She smiled at his comment, even though she couldn't help but roll her eyes at him. Mine would be the same as it always is. Hawkmoth discovering who we are and letting everyone down. Her voice veered off as someone else caught her attention. My lady? She refocused her attention back on him, gently placing a hand on his arm. If fears are materializing, I don't know what form they would take, so we need to be extra careful not to be affected. Chat lost the smirk and gave her a light smile that held a hint of worry. Then mine would be the fear of losing you. Especially now. Wait, what is that? Chat pointed to a black form shifting in the air and blending in with the night sky. Let's take a closer look, but we need to hold back until we get the victim in sight. Ladybug shifted into her action stance, twirling her yo-yo in the air. Agreed. Chat slipped out his baton from his bag and spun it around once, ready to pounce at his lady's command. They jumped across the rooftops, pausing for a moment before edging closer. The black form floated in the air in front of them, moving and shifting like clouds of smoke. It seemed to move with intent. Ladybug carefully ambled closer and watched it as the wisps formed together into a shape of a hand as it reached down and grabbed at one of the Parisians running for cover. Ladybug glanced back at a partner who had followed her lead. Shat! The cloud! It's a center monster. Without warning, he lunged forward towards her, grabbing her around the waist as he spun his baton in a circle. They crashed into a heap on a platform below. Are you all right, my lady? He glanced down at her as he cradled her, running his hand over her head and down her arms. She smiled at him, giving his cheek a quick stroke. Yes, thanks to you. That was close. But where is the person controlling it? Jack jumped to his feet and held out his hand for Ladybug to take before spinning around, glancing down the different side streets. Jack froze, staring out in front of him. There. Ladybug turned to see what had gripped him in fear. The akumatized person had transformed into a creature she had never seen before, apart from the scary movies Alia had forced her to watch. It hovered off the ground, gliding down the street towards the location. Pure white hair floated around them as if it held no gravity, a contrast to the black skin with speckles of sparkles, almost like stardust, that seemed to morph into a flowing silk gown. But what brought a shiver to Ladybug was the glowing white eyes set into an emotionless face. The image itself brought its own fear. I'm Shadow Weaver, Ladybug and Chat Noir. Give me your Miraculous, or I will show you and all of Paris the greatest fear and despair. Cast a shadow over the city until there is no hope left. Chat, look at her hands. It's as if she's spinning a web of thread. That could be where the Akuma is. I'm not gonna lie, Bugaboo, but she's... You're not being a scaredy shat on me now, are you? Her use of a pun brought a smile to his face. Me? Never. We're a team, just like always. She felt herself fly through the air and was able to regain her balance in time to see the black mist morph into a hand, reaching out to Shat. Ladybug jumped to her feet, spinning her yo-yo out and wrapping it around him and yanking Shat back towards her. With him in her arms, she darted off the roof, away from the pursuing mist, and aimed for a side alley. That was close, she breathed. Milady? Where are you? Where am I? And why is your voice distant? He held his hands out, searching out in front, when she saw his usual green eyes were glowing white instead. What do you mean, Kitty? I'm right here, and so are you. I can't see you. I'm losing you. She could hear the panic forming in his voice, fear seeping in. No, you're not. You'll never lose me, Kitty. I will never leave your side. She placed her hands in his. Do you feel that? He nodded his head. Yes, but your voice is fading. Believe in my touch. I'm right here. You can fight this. She stroked one hand up his arm, across his shoulder towards his cheek, and then planted his hand on hers. I love you, Kitty. Do you trust me? Believe me when I say, I will never leave you. You can't lose me. He nodded his head as pearly tears dripped from the white eyes. She leaned in, pressing one hand over his heart whilst cupping his face, and kissed him. Fight for me? Fight for us. I know you can do it. Don't let that sentimonster control you. Focus on my voice, my touch, my love for you, and the memories of the last few days. Now that you have found me, you can't lose me, my kitty. I love you too, Bugaboo. And I know we're stronger together than anything we face. He leaned into her hand, and the white faded into green. Milady, keep talking. I think it's working. Good, because I need you. My partner. I can't do this without you. She tried her hardest to smooth over the cracks in her voice. He needed her to remain strong. You and me against the world. The last of the whites disappeared, and she never loved his green eyes more. There you are. How are you feeling? Are you ready to fight? Beat this thing? She ran her hand over his face, studying his expression. With you? Always. He paused. It was strange, though. It was almost like being stuck in a web, tangled in this darkness, and your voice and my memories were floating away, but you brought me back. I anchored onto you and broke free, but if you hadn't, I don't know what I could have done without you. I'll always be here for you, Kitty. But you also need more faith in yourself. I need you, and they need us to get through this. She leaned in and gave him an extra quick kiss. Are you ready? Shat nodded his head and mirrored Ladybug's look of determination. What's the plan, Bugaboo? How are we going to get close enough to Shadow Weaver without the Senti monster attacking again? To be honest, I'm not too sure. I think we might need some luck. She flung her yo-yo up and shouted out, Lucky charm! Out of the cluster of ladybugs, a large torch formed and dropped into her hands. Maybe we need to shed a little bit of light on the situation. Shat grinned at her, giving her a playful smile. I could use it to keep the Senti monster away from you, giving you enough time to take on Shadow Weaver. I've already faced my fears. I'm sure, answering the question that had formed on her face, we can do this together. Together. She reached out for his hand and gave it a tight squeeze, transferring the torch to Shat. Both of them sprinted out of the alleyway and vaulted onto the roof across the street. They leapt from one to another in sync. Down there, Ladybug called out as she jumped down. Ladybug and Chat Noir, have you abandoned the people of Paris to live in fear? Give me your Miraculous and all this darkness will disappear, called out Shadow Weaver, approaching them from one direction whilst a dark mist came at them from behind. We will never abandon our city. We have sworn to protect the people of Paris. Now, Shat! Ladybug hurtled out a yo-yo, blocking the snake-like threads weaving towards her. Don't tell me the big terrible shadow fears a little light, Shat gestured behind her. But that is your fear, isn't it, Ladybug? That you will let them all down. That maybe one day your luck will run out. She felt drawn to Shadow Weaver's white eyes, pulling her into a trance. No! She shook her head, trying to regain her focus. We will defeat Hawkmoth and free these people from the fear he has imposed upon them for years, starting with you. With a little look, her yo-yo caught around the threads, causing them to fly towards them. Shat! He leaped into the air. Catalysm! As a dust of ash cascaded down, releasing a purple butterfly. Time to de-evilize! She performed her usual routine, spinning around, catching both the Amok and the Akuma. Bye-bye, little butterfly and feather. Milady, I believe this is yours. Shet held out the torch for her to throw into the air. Miraculous Ladybugs! A glittering swarm of ladybugs flowed through the streets and transforming the city back to the peace once more. Without a second thought, Ladybug flung her arms around Chat's neck. Thank you, my kitty, pulling back a little and placed a kiss on his lips. Oh, I think I like this even more than our usual pound it moment. He wiggled his eyebrows at her, causing her to blush as he wrapped his arms around her. How about, after we finish here, we continue our date? How about we head back to my house and we watch a film, something light and romantic? I think all I want to do is curl up in your arms. That sounds perfect to me, Bugaboo. She stared at him. The lingering fear had not completely gone away from either of them. knowing tonight had exposed them to the challenges they now faced as a couple and a team. But together they could win. Together they could remain strong, no matter what or who would try to break them apart. Part 3, Sweet Dreams coming soon. Thank you for listening to the final part of Sweet Kisses, and make sure you smash that notification button and subscribe so you do not miss out on part 3, Sweet Dreams coming soon. So make sure you smash the like button, comment down below Shadow Weaver if you don't know what else to put, and yeah, let me know what you think of it and what's going to be happening in part 3. And thank you very much for listening. Bye.